Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles and welcome to Motivational Monday. Typically on Mondays, I provide either a quote, a motivational saying, a scripture, an event from my life or from your life to go over and elaborate on to give us motivation and inspiration for the week. And I don't know why I just said typically, because that's what I'm going to do today. So if you are interested, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed and let's get right into the video. Okay, so today what I really want to talk about is the effects of pushing yourself past your comfort zone, the effects that it has. And so I think it was last Monday, I made a video about challenging yourself to push past your comfort zone in your business. And I just want to talk about how you feel once you do that, or how I felt once I did that. So in business, there's a lot of different things that you're going to do. In your personal life, there's a lot of, achievements that you're going to have. And so I've always wanted to do certain things in my life, even before I opened a salon. Me getting up and me speaking in front of a group of people, was always a vision of mine. I always wanted to do that. I didn't really know how it was going to be or, when it was going to happen, but I always wanted to do that. And I always wanted to own a business. I've always wanted to do something, you know what I mean? Give back, share my knowledge with people. And just the fact that I'm actually being able to do that. Now, my journey isn't over. I'm not where I want to be in my business as far as, where I can just say, I'm ready to retire, or I'm ready to just look back and see what I've done and just, fill myself up based on the memories of my business. I'm not at that point yet, but I can tell you that this week was an eye-opener for me. So a lot of you that follow me know that I had my first big presentation, and this was something that I really wanted to do. It was out of my comfort zone. I had a lot of colleges that were there. The presentation was actually, they were awarded credits for attending, credits for their school. And so it was a big deal. I was very excited. I was invited to it, and I took a while to prepare the presentation. And a lot of you that have been following me, you've seen some of the vlogs where I was shopping for different supplies for the activities, and I talked a little bit about the presentation in some of my videos. But let me tell you, when I went to that hotel, the conference room, and when I walked through the door, my heart it started pumping. Like, I was just so nervous. Even though I knew my material, even though I knew what I wanted to say, I was out of my element. I was nervous. When I got up there and I started seeing people look at me, I can tell you, I felt so nervous. My mouth got dry. I started shaking a little bit. I could hear my tone and my voice changing when I first started. And in that moment, I'm like, I don't know if I really, can I push through this? Is this going to work? How is this going to end up? And at the end of the presentation, I felt so great. I felt like I made connections. I felt like everything went great. I didn't even stick 100% to the script. I was going off of my heart and my past experiences. And it was great. I really enjoyed myself. But what I took away from that is, a lot of times in life, we try to steer away from things that make us uncomfortable. And I just think back to when I was speaking, when my mouth got dry, when I started feeling a little shaky, if I would have stopped, that would have been my only experience. I would have remembered, okay, speaking is not fun. I was terrified. As soon as I went up there, my mouth got dry. I started shaking. That was beginning. Thank God I allowed myself to finish so that I could see the overall picture. And that's what I want to bring to this message today. There's a lot of things in our life, as far as people, as far as different activities, different jobs, different things that just provide stress to us. And I feel like some of the things that we're afraid to move past, whether it be relationships, whether it be friendships, whether it be bad habits, some things that we're afraid to move past may choke us up at first, may make us nervous, may make us shaky, but it's necessary for us to be able to feel the effects of going through it. After I finished my presentation, like I mentioned, I felt so great. They gave me a gift. People came up to me. I got invited to speak at more places. The feedback was tremendous. I was so happy and satisfied. And like I said, I just want to share the message, because it's not even just about pushing myself out of my comfort zone. It's about seeing what that does to me, what that does to our lives. Doing something that we're not comfortable doing doesn't feel good. It does not make you feel comfortable. It does not feel like you're doing the right thing. It's not until you're done, you go through it, that you really see the effects. Like I've been saying, and I'm saying this because it's so true. There's a couple things in my life in particular that I've really been wanting to make better. And I can tell you that once I went through what I went through as far as my presentation, something just clicked. And I'm like, aha, this is how it is. This is how it is when you are dealing with things that you don't want to deal with. You know, we get up there, like I said, you're first, you're frightened. So I really want to say that to you all, you know, whenever you're doing something, it's something that you know you need to do, because I know where I want my business to go. I know where I want my career to go. I know where I want my family to go, you know. And I knew that doing this presentation was going to push me further in the right direction. If there's something that you know is going to better you, like I said, I don't care if it's getting away from a certain relationship. I don't care if it's mending a relationship. I don't care if it's looking for another job, switching schools, whatever it is that you know deep down needs to happen in order for you to move forward. I challenge you to really take action to make that happen. And yes, it's easier said than done. Just like, you know, when I was going to speak, there were so many people like, oh, you got this. Don't be nervous. And I'm like, it's easy for you to say. You don't have all these eyes staring at you. But at the end of the day, you know, sometimes, like I said in my other videos, sometimes what is necessary, not listen to what I say. I'm not saying what you would like to do or what sounds fun or what I'm saying sometimes what is absolutely necessary is not going to feel comfortable. And I'm really talking about pushing ourselves past our comfort zone, because once we can do that, we can start breaking barriers. Once we can start breaking barriers, we can start reaching our goals. Once we can start reaching our goals, we can start growing. Once we can start growing, we can start helping others grow, and we can start uplifting. It all starts with us saying, you know what? I know going into this is something I'm going to be nervous. Even on the ride to the presentation, I was really thinking, you know, hey, I was telling myself, Brittney, if you get there and if you're just not feeling it, if you're too nervous, you don't have to do it. You know, you don't have to do it. I was really talking myself through it. Like, you know what, Brittney, no one's going to make you do anything, you know. And even when I got there in the presentation room, I felt good, but I was still really, really, really nervous. I have anxiety. And so things like that just give me a natural anxiety. I get so nervous, and I'm getting better with it. But like I said, I wanted to talk myself out of it. It's easier to say, you know what, I don't want to do it. It's easier to say, you know what, this isn't the right time. It's easier to say, you know what, why don't I try again next year? It's easier to say, I'm just comfortable making YouTube videos. So if you want to hear what I have to say, just tune in. You know, I'm not going to do any other speaking. Just tune into my videos. It's easy to do that, but it's really difficult and challenging to say, you know what, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something that I've never done before on a level that I've never done it. And I'm going to not only try my best, but I'm going to look around and accept all the lessons that it's teaching me. I'm going to understand how it felt. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to speak so bad, because I wanted to feel how it was going to feel speaking amongst a group of people this size, so that when I do it again, even if it's a bigger crowd, I get to experience how it feels. You know, that's a big part as far as my journey, me getting to soak up how every part of my journey feels. How did I feel when I opened my salon? How did I feel when I closed it? How did I feel when I was asked or invited to a certain speaking event? How did I feel when I started the event? How did I feel when I finished it? And so we really have to start doing that. If it helps to jot down the notes, you know, current, before and after feelings, go ahead and do that, you know, because we really want to start documenting how we feel, so that we can look back and say, you know what, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I felt. And this is how I feel. You know, this is how I feel now that everything's done. So I don't really know who this is for, but I'm sure it's for someone out there, because I'm feeling in my heart the need to keep going over, and it may even be for me, but I feel in my heart the need to keep going over the importance of pushing past your comfortability, pushing past the friendships, the relationships that you're comfortable being around, because sometimes those relationships are going to hold you back. And that's just the truth. You know, I struggle with this a lot of times because I never want to cut anyone out of my life. I never want to stop talking to anyone. You know, I always have hopes of everything working out. But then you have reality, and sometimes it doesn't. And life has a way of showing you who is there for you to uplift you and who isn't. And so, although, you know, you choose how you're going to go through that, some of the, you know, sometimes you have to make those tough choices. You know, in order for me to do this part of my life, this part has to be figured out. So whether that mean I have to cut off some contact, whether that mean I have to start spending less time, you know, sometimes you have people that are wanting you to not be your best. And this goes back to even if you're in high school, you know, sometimes you have friends that aren't wanting you to exceed. Sometimes you have family members, if you're in a business, that just don't see your vision, that aren't uplifting or inspiring. And like I say in a lot of videos, I'm not saying cut everyone off. I'm just saying be very cautious of the close company that you keep. Because if you're continuously being around people that aren't pushing you to be your best, if you're continuously being around people that are forcing you to stay in a closed element, or maybe you're at a job and you know you're afraid to venture out and find something else because you've been there for 10 plus years and you don't want to leave it because you've been told that it's hard to find jobs, and you've been told that this is a great job and if you leave it you're crazy. But it comes a time where you have to really look at your life and you have to say, you know, I need to do what it is I need to do so that I can move forward. I'm not saying quit your job today because you feel like it. I'm saying make those plans, you know, make the plans to start doing what it is you know you have to do, even if that means your mouth gets dry, even if that means you start shaking, even if that means your anxiety kicks in. You know, go through it so that you can see how great you'll feel at the end. I'm telling you, no one could have prepared me for the feeling that I was going to feel after the presentation. No one could. I couldn't have read a book that would describe how I felt after I got done with my presentation. I couldn't put into words, and it's still hard for me to put into words how I felt when I got done with doing the thing that terrified me. So I'm just saying this Monday is a brand new start. You know, do what it is that you know you need to do to make an impact in your life so that you can grow to your best potential. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.